Hi, well, it's Jamia here. Yeah, just gonna be discussing some things on front control today. Whilst got some Shapez running. Yeah, okay, cool. Uh, and then that should work out. Yeah, no, discussing that for now, and then hopefully we'll get to a slightly more. Yeah, we'll figure some things out. Right, okay, right. Yeah, I haven't figured out the, hey, yeah, okay, right. Front control stuff. So, front control, obviously, potentially a key survival tool, but it's not necessarily that easy to achieve, always. Um, So yeah, sometimes, but yes, no, sometimes it's a key survival tool because you need to be able to quickly grab the sometimes people aren't safe in front, or safe alone in front. Essentially, is the primary concern. So obviously, well, yeah, I'm not gonna pretend it's always easy, right? That would be a lie. So no, it's not always easy. Um, no, and you need a level of understanding as to what the mechanisms exist right within your own system, so that you can provide with the um, right, so that you can provide to the so that you can make use of them properly. And so yeah, that's one of the things to consider is what you can is you need to know those controls, and then yeah, there is also the you also need to be able to tell when to use them, which can be very difficult of it. Yeah, so our front is generally accessible through the um you know essentially by most of the time it's by stepping through one of the doors that exist in the wall to the front. There are other options, but that tends to be the most reliable, let's say. Uh, okay. Uh, no. So yeah, that's well, yeah. So working through front in that way. No, oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So what tends to be the trick is going through into front through there. Technically the walls also work as access, but that requires a significant level of much more. You need to be able to force yourself through with willpower to make use of the walls, which isn't true for the doors if they're open. Right, you can just walk through an open door if it exists. And obviously that's different to how it works for the I probably should have done this different. In fact, I should definitely have done that differently. Oh, okay, yeah. So, you need a level of willpower and like to walk through the doors that you do not need if you're just, walking to walk through the walls that you don't need just for, yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. No. Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, so that requires, yeah. So, but anyway, the most common control currently is Brain, who has that level of, who can have that level of authority, um, and has been doing it for quite a while, right? Um, you know, normally by essentially just reinforcing the walls with their own willpower and then just leaving doors open most of the time to let people wander in and out, essentially. But can close them when needed, obviously. Yeah. But essentially, the thing is that same control space also does control memory storage into and out the front, essentially. Memory flow in and out the front, and how memories are dealt with, right? So, obviously it requires someone with reasonable amount who can be trusted a lot, the other person relatively recently has taken up is Stammy, which, mostly down to the fact that being very high on willpower means that, yeah, if you can just push your way into front whenever you want anyway, you're one of the better people for ensuring that the walls are well reinforced, essentially, because you're one of the best for reinforcing them. Right. I don't have tunnels, so it'll have to just be that one, I guess. That's unfortunate, but oh well. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong way. Okay. Cool. Right. Anyway, um, there's a level of that. Oh, but a large part of it is, there's known people and known timings for when a additional um, step might be needed, essentially. Okay. No. Yeah. So essentially, there's known people who need to be avoided and known concern points, essentially, in terms of timing, which are then used as the catalyst timings for the reinforcement and the pulling in of additional people, essentially. So if we know, that's not gonna work, that people aren't, if we know that things are going to be difficult at a certain time, we can prepare for that and essentially make sure that that's been accounted for beforehand. And that's the basic idea, is by pre-planning, we can ensure that things work out as well as could be hoped. That is the idea, at least. Doesn't always work, but that's the theory. So, yeah, that's what the intention is, at least. As I said, it doesn't always work, but, by essentially the basic idea is if we pre-plan, and we know when defenses are more likely to be needed, we can set up defenses beforehand for those and, better ensure that people are on guard and ready to step in, and there's a list of people who can step in, who are good, useful stabilizing influences and safe people to have who, essentially can help control the body and allow people to exist in front, right, without them being a significant danger, because as much as, because ultimately the part of allowing people to, work past their struggles, right, with certain things is, right, part of allowing people to work past those struggles is by ensuring that they don't then face more of the same sort of difficulties. Okay, nope, no. But, part by essentially protecting people from, by essentially allowing people to come into front in a safe manner, we then can allow for the with that information, essentially, we can allow for the we can pre-prepare and pre-defend and essentially guarantee that things are okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Cool. Did you just outright? Might have made some mistakes. Yeah. Oh well. But yes, that's the basic idea. Okay. I think that's everything. And yeah, hopefully we'll figure out how to do the VTubing thing at some point. But that some point is not right now, so we'll figure it out. This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.